So hello there and welcome to another Pleasure Beach Experience video. Today me and Becca are doing a Q&A, our first joint Q&A together. It's normally me and Mike, so we thought we'd do something a little bit different and we put some questions out. Well, we asked you for your questions on social media the other day and the response was overwhelming, so we've tried to get as many questions in as possible and I hope that you're happy with the answers once we go through all the questions. I'm sure some of Becca's coaster opinions may be controversial, but
as always,
you're used to that by now. So, first question for both of us by Sean is, what is your favourite trip you've had together? So I'll let Becca answer this one to start with.
It is a difficult one. Some of the early ones were really good, like we went to Park Asterix, that was really good. It's just the trip was tainted by Disney.
Yeah,
because that was quite a bad day.
Yeah.
But the trip was really good, but then we've had so many.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how many parks we've done together since we got together.
I mean, the first trip to Wallaby,
that was amazing.
But again, it was tainted by a really bad day at Efteling.
Yeah.
Because it was just a generally poor day for a park.
It was.
But then there's been Florida as well.
Yeah. So a funny story about Efteling is that because we travelled so far the day before Efteling, I'd finished work at some stupid time in the evening. I think, had I been on 210?
Yeah.
I think I finished 210 and I think we immediately drove straight to the Eurotunnel.
Yeah.
We drove straight to the Eurotunnel from my work. And then, because Becca picked me up, so we travelled down with me in my work uniform.
Yeah.
We stopped at services. I got changed into my scruffs. Had a little sleep. We got to France at some stupid time in the morning, and we drove straight to Toverland. I remember us rolling up in Sevenham into McDonald's.
We were too early. Toverland the car park wasn't even open yet.
No, but I remember getting to Toverland. And my eyes just felt so heavy because I was just so tired. I was just like, I'm determined to enjoy this place because I'd wanted to go for so long. And we had a great day. Yeah,
even being that tired,
yeah,
it was just such a good park.
And then we went back to the hotel and we were like, we'll just have 2-hour kip.
Yeah, we set several alarms.
We slept for 18 hours.
Yeah.
So we went to Efteling with very, very bad heads because we just overslept too much. We slept for that long because we actually did about 3 hours at Toverland and that was enough to do everything, and we were like, we're tired, let's go back to the hotel. We'll go back to the hotel, we'll get some rest, we'll get something to eat from the nearest Mackey's or whatever, and then we'll be fresh for Efteling. Well, we were too fresh.
Yeah.
Because I think we nearly missed the alarm to actually go to Efteling the next day. That's how long we slept
tired.
So, no chance of sleep like that anymore.
No.
We'll have to wait till Charlie's about 10 before that happens again.
Yeah.
So for me, my favourite trip was probably, like I say, Park Asterix was great, but Wallaby was great. Florida was great, but overwhelming for me because of so many different parks in one go. I don't think I was mentally prepared for the grind that is Florida.
Yeah.
I think if I went again, I'd be more prepared for it, but I didn't see it affecting me in the way it did. After about 3 or 4 days I was thinking this might be too much for me, but I really, really enjoyed it. But I think sometimes the little nippy trips like Park Asterix and Wallaby, where you don't expect anything from them, and we just had a great time overall. Florida was great, but I was just overwhelmed. But I remember saying that.
Makes sense, so there's a lot that when you're used to travelling a couple 100 miles between parks here, and then you've got all that at once. It's so good.
And it's so good, but it's so much at once. And I remember saying to you at the time, I'm going to regret not enjoying this more. And I remember still feel like that now, and I always think I really want to go back there because I really want to do it justice again. But I'm sure most people who are enthusiasts that go Florida the first time probably build themselves up a bit too much for it. You just don't realise how much effort's required. But trust me, they're some of the best parks you will ever visit. So, next question.
Yeah. So it's a question for Scott by Crispy2009. Interesting name. If you were a manager of the Pleasure Beach, what ride would you like to see built?
Firstly, I'd like to say thanks for your question, Crispy, because you've been a long-standing subscriber on the channel now. You've been commenting on every video for at least 2 years, pretty much, so...
That's good going.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for your support, of course. Thanks to everyone for your support. If I was a manager at Pleasure Beach, what ride would I like to see built? Oh God, Arrow don't exist anymore.
Yeah, you're a bit stuck.
I'm going to say a Mack water coaster. I really like Mack water coasters. I've done 2 of them now, and I just think they're fun. You get the moderate wetness, you get the coaster experience, you get airtime. They're just good fun rides, and I think one would really work well. But I'd actually like to see one at Towers as well, because Towers need water rides. But I think Pleasure Beach have never replaced the log flume, so I think that would be the ideal replacement for the log flume and infusion.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike. Question for both by Nicola. So, having been to Florida, would you go back with your baby?
We've planned it already.
Yeah, it's happening.
It will happen.
It's happening.
There's no
Definitely.
chance we're not taking them. I went a fair bit when I was little.
Yeah.
All the way up to, well, the other year, but
Yeah.
definitely got to take them back.
Yeah, that was the difference with Florida as well. You'd been, what?
I've been quite a number of times, and it was your first time, so I knew what to expect.
Yeah.
There was a lot of changes from my last trip to this trip, but
Yeah.
I still had a lot more of an idea of what was going on.
So far, Charlie has been to Pleasure Beach. He's been to Toverland. He's been to Plopsaland. He's been to Efteling. He's been to Fantasialand. And next year, he's probably going to go to Wallaby Holland. He's probably going to go to Leesburg. And in a couple of years, he's probably going to go to California. So there's going to be a lot that he gets to do. He's going to have some cracking coaster count by the time he's about 10 or 11. Which brings us on to a question which is later on. So we'll move on for now. And it's a question for Becca, is it? Oh no, it is this question. Question for Becca by Felice. Is that right?
Yeah.
If your child grows up scared of roller coasters, how would you encourage him to start riding? That is a great question.
So, firstly, start small is the main thing. Don't rush them into anything big. They have to enjoy it. It's not a case of get on there.
No.
It's a case of enjoy it. Just explain how it works. Get them interested in just the actual workings, because that's a brilliant way in just teaching them about general things, and I think that's the best way, is how they work and how safe they are.
Yeah.
But start small and find something they enjoy. They might not enjoy wooden coasters like I do. Might not enjoy tall coasters.
Yeah.
It might be something completely different. Like, I know one of my little sisters absolutely hates the majority of coasters, but absolutely loves Nemesis Inferno. Doesn't bother her, she'd sit on it all day. Anything else, no. So sometimes it's just a case of finding what they like, and their interest will go from there.
It's going to be interesting, because when I was a child I was really scared of roller coasters, whereas Becca wasn't. And interestingly, my brother was never scared of coasters, but that's maybe because he saw me going on them and wanted to do the same thing. And I think Charlie will probably see that we do this, and he'll probably want a part of it straight away. And I think we will probably try him on Blue Flyer when he's old enough next year, but it's a case of, if he seems really scared when we get to doing it, we won't force him onto it. There's no way. We're going to start him on stuff like Dora's and Wallace and Gromit, and we're not going to throw him on the ghost train and stuff like that yet, because we're not sure yet if he's scared of the dark or not. So it's stuff like, we'll probably take him on Dora's quite a bit next year and just see how he gets on with it. But I think he'll be fine.
He's not at all bothered by the sounds at the Pleasure Beach, which I think is a big start, because some of what's really scary when you're quite little is how noisy some of them are. For example, if you're queuing for the big one and the lift starts, that is loud. That is a big scary noise. Yeah, if you don't know what it is, then you're going to be scared of it. But he sleeps through it.
Sleeps under it.
He's not bothered.
And he likes Icon soundtrack as well. He can fall asleep to that, which is just crazy. So shout out to Glenn.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a question for both of us from Chris James. If you could go back in time to any year in Pleasure Beach's history, which year and why?
I'm going to say 1994.
How did I know?
I would love to experience the big one's opening day as an adult. I was there as a child, don't remember much of it other than my dad going on the big one and being sat with the Man United title winning team. That is all I remember, because he got his on-ride photo signed by Brian Robson and all the team. So yeah, that's my memory of Big One's opening day. But having experienced Icon's media day, because the media day was a lot better than the opening day purely because of the weather, more so than anything, I would have loved to have been there on Big One's opening day. So what about you?
I would go back to try the reel.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested in seeing, one, how the park was back then, because it was a very different park to it is now. But just to be able to ride the reel, I think would be really interesting. I couldn't put a particular year, but any year that the reel was there, probably not towards its end, but maybe midlife.
Yeah, once it'd run in properly.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to say that'd be really good, but I'm not going to say that.
You just did.
Is it me? Question for Becca by Cars Channel. What type of coaster does Pleasure Beach need next?
Modern Woody.
That's simple.
Easy enough.
That's simple.
They've got all these amazing older Woodies, but we need to replace one Woody with something else. And I think a modern Woody would be the best mix. We've got old steel coasters, we've got new steel coasters, we've got old wooden coasters, but we've not got a modern one. So
Gravity Group or GCI?
Please don't have anything with inversions. That'd be really horrible. It just needs to be
traditional but new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the limit is something like Cuchulainn.
Oh yeah.
Which is amazing.
Gravity Group then.
Yeah.
That works.
So yeah, I think they could make it work.
Yeah. Would that be at the expense of a Woody that's there?
No.
No.
It has to be in complement to.
Okie doke. Question for Becca by Expedition Coaster. What is your idea of a good coaster?
It's got to have good drops, good airtime, and a decent turnaround. The turnaround is important in rides. I really think it is, because it ruins some good rides. For example, Shambhala is killed by that horrible, messy looking turnaround that feels just pointless. But it's got great drops, it's got great airtime, but that turnaround really annoys me.
Yeah, I think I can agree with you there, because having done like Mako, which we both did, which has got more of a conventional turnaround.
Yeah.
And Silver Star, which has pretty much got the same turnaround as Mako. They've both got that sort of flat banked turn, if that makes sense. You sort of go up, but it's kind of just flat and round.
I mean, my favourite turnaround is the big one. That is just perfect. I know it's got that jolt coming out of it, but
it's an arrow.
Yeah. So it's allowed, but just generally that fits so well. But you have to have a really good couple of drops, which is something a lot of coasters miss these days. They forget that you're meant to have these drops, and not too many inversions.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
Fair enough. Is it me or you next?
So we have a question for both of us. If you owned a theme park together, what type of coasters would you have?
This would be a nightmare.
We'd have to split it down the middle.
We'd have to have Becca's side, Scott's side, definitely. Because even though we do have some similar preferences, I think we've got very big differences in sort of coaster opinions.
Yeah.
As we've said in a previous video, I really like Cedar Point. Becca doesn't see the point in going.
Yeah.
Whereas there's other parks you want to go, and I'm a bit like, don't really see what's there that I'd enjoy.
Yeah.
But because we tend to do so many trips together, we try and complement what we both want to do. Whereas, for example, when we went to Leesburg, Becca had no interest in going before we booked the flights. And it was only when you sort of sat and watched the POVs on YouTube, you went, oh, actually, this could be quite a good park. We really, really liked it. And I think another one as well was like Wallaby.
Yeah, we weren't sure what to think of Wallaby at all, but it turned out to be amazing.
Yeah. So I think, what was the question again? It was
what
type of coasters.
Together.
Well, we'd definitely have a hyper coaster.
Definitely have a water coaster.
Yeah, we'd have a Woody.
There'd definitely be Woodies.
See, this is the thing. We've got the similar preferences in the type of ride. It's just what that type of ride actually does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it'd be an interest. We'll have to build it on Planet Coaster when we got a computer big enough that can handle like 5 or 6 coasters in one park without glitching.
Yeah.
But Becca doesn't like Planet Coaster, so
Roller Coaster Tycoon all the way.
Fair enough.
So, the next one, do you want to read that?
Yeah, question for both by Tom Teaser. Sorry. What's it like working, having a family, running PvE? Do you ever get time to yourself? I'm just laughing at that question because no, we don't.
What's that?
We don't have time to film this video. We don't have time to do anything, honestly.
This has been filmed at some silly time of night because...
Yeah, we don't have time.
Yeah, I've been at work. The little one's in bed.
Yep.
The washing's done.
Yeah, the washing's done. His bottles are done. Christmas shopping needs wrapped. We've got videos to edit for the channel. We've got posts for PB socials. We've got the event coming up on opening weekend, which we're still organising. There is just... No, we don't have time. We don't have time to run PBE, but we somehow do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we love running PBE, so we're not going to stop. We always find time for it. I've been running PvE now for nearly 10 years, and if I had that removed from me, I think it'd be like losing my head. I just don't know what I'd do without it. So, next year's 10 years of PvE.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Madness.
Yeah.
Okay, so a question for Scott by the Pandoras. What's your favourite booze, and would you move to Blackpool?
Estrella Dam.
It's a mixed question, really.
Estrella Dam. Absolutely love it. Love drinking yards of it. And just a question that was asked that's not on the list from the Royal Recordings was about the Estrella Dam yards that we had in the picture, asking for the questions. That was actually at Portaventura, and it was freezing.
And those yards were even colder.
Yes. We necked them.
Yes.
Because
they were too cold to hold.
Yeah. But yeah, Estrella Dam. And would I move to Blackpool? Probably. Will it happen? Don't know. But it's one of those things.
Just want to be by the seaside.
Oh, I do like to be... No, that's not happening. If we get 100,000 subs by next Christmas, I will sing "Oh, I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside."
Oh, no.
Don't get us there, please. I'm deleting this video.
We will need a lot of Estrella Dam first.
Definitely. A yard.
A bit more than that.
Yeah. Anyway, question for Becca by Alan. If you owned Pleasure Beach, oh no, what rides would you get rid of?
Oh, here we go. Goodbye Valhalla, goodbye Infusion, goodbye, oh, why can't I think of the name?
Probably just as well.
Oh, to be fair, I wouldn't, that's what I'd, in the end, probably.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen all at once.
But that's not what I'd do. That would not be my plan. My plan would be to sort out what's there first.
Yeah.
So, things like Impossible would get a complete redo first. Make sure that your foundations that you've got are working for you. And then look at removing things.
So, to clarify, you wouldn't take over and then go, right, you need to remove this, that and the other.
No, I wouldn't be hiding a wrecking ball on the first day. No. I'd be fixing what's there first.
Yes, and have a set plan of removals and replacements.
Exactly. I'd wait until I had a replacement for removed anything. It wouldn't be a simple case of wrecking ball into that and that.
No. We don't want you to come in like a wrecking ball.
Might be an exception to that.
That will outlive us.
No.
It will.
No.
It will. It'll outlive us. Unless Avalanche goes, that ain't going anywhere.
Well, I'd take that out as well, though.
Oh, God.
I was kind of hoping Mac were going to take it home with them when they'd finished Icon, but apparently not.
No. No, that's here to stay as well. So, next one. Question for both by Brad. What was the first roller coaster you went on?
So, mine... The first proper coaster I went on was the Pleasure Beach Woodies in Beaver Creek. So, Zipper, Dipper and roller coaster. My
first major coaster was the Grand National, if I remember rightly. I did that before roller. I did them in a strange order. I did National, I did roller, I did Dipper, I did the Mouse, and then I did Little Dipper. Did that one last.
Strange.
Did it for the cred.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I just missed it when I was younger. But the thing is, I used to visit Pleasure Beach so often as a child, but they didn't have wristbands, so you had to pick and choose what you were doing. And we never did all the rides because we always seemed to go when it was raining. So I don't remember ever going to Pleasure Beach as a kid when the weather was good. I know my mum will correct me, and my mum and dad will correct me after they watch this, but I don't remember going when it was sunny when I was a kid. I always remember it being raining and cold. But yeah. Question for both by Tech Vlogs and More. Favourite UK flat ride?
Do we have any?
Maelstrom at Drayton Manor.
Rush at Thorpe. I quite enjoy that. I know it gets a lot of hate, but
not from me.
I think it's brilliant.
I just shit myself on it.
That's part of the fun.
I'm not denying that. I shit myself on all of them rides, especially the one
and
at
the
Leesburg.
Sound as well. I just love that sound.
Yeah,
it just sounds mean.
It does. We need to get you on the one at Leesburg because it looks tiny until you go up and over the rock face and you go, oh, actually this is really high. So yeah.
Yeah. So question for both of us by Paul Vickers. How and where did you meet?
Have a guess.
Pleasure Beach fountains.
October 2009.
Yep.
And we were friends for what, 6-7 years first?
Yeah.
Maybe less, I don't know, can't remember. It's been a long time, but we've nearly known each other for 10 years now.
Yeah.
And it's been some great times.
My train was late and I wasn't happy. Stormed over and sat down.
I do remember you walking over with a fair bit of intent, but you were smiling. I remember that.
I'm happy to be at Pleasure Beach.
Weren't we all?
Yeah. It was a good day actually. It was a really sunny day.
Yeah, it was. I remember us all going on roller over and over and over again.
I was well happy with that.
Yeah. No, it was a great day that was. We got to meet quite a lot of people for the first time who we still know now as well. Yeah. It was the first official Pleasure Beach experience meet-up actually, if I remember rightly. And then obviously we did meet-ups for a couple of years and then escalated to events, which are great.
Yeah.
So next question. Oh, it's for you this one. Question for Becca by Luca. Hey up Luca, you alright? Helix is better than Taron. Your 5 bucket list parks.
I don't think there's 5.
There is.
There's not. 6 Flags, Magic Mountain, if I've got the right one. That's purely because I want to ride Revolution.
That is the right park, yes.
I need to do that coaster. The Revolution, I need to do it.
Yes.
But for whole parks, really, really desperate to do Wallaby Belgium actually.
Yeah, so that's 2. Come on, there's got to be more than this.
The parks in Finland look fantastic. There's Linnanmäki and there's, I think it's Power Park, if that's the right one that I'm thinking of.
Not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, there's not a set list. There's more just, I need to do Revolution and I want to do a wooden coaster on a beach, which there is one not too far away from Revolution.
Belmont Park, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't.
That wooden coaster just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's more those 2 rides I want to do. Now I'm going to be lost.
I know.
Really.
Although I think I always find it, having done a bucket list park, you do eventually get more. But I felt a bit like that after doing Cedar Point. I was like, right, I've accomplished the goal. What next?
Yeah.
And then I sort of sat there going, well, I'm going to go back to Cedar Point because I need to do it all over again. But now I've started to look at when we do go California, and I've started to look at the rides that are there, and I'm seeing there's a lot of arrows. I mean, that's going to be the driving force for me wanting to get out there before long, because like Revolution is not going to last forever, and them arrow coasters over there are not going to last forever. But I do have faith in the Americans that they will look after their arrow coasters and keep them going. Whereas I think a lot of them, if they were built in the UK, they would have just been got rid of now for shite. Because quite often that happens in the UK. We lose good coasters and stuff doesn't really warrant replacing it. It isn't an arrow, but Corkscrew at Towers has got a poor replacement.
Very poor. It doesn't live up to Corky whatsoever.
No. So it's just one of those things where you worry that these rides that are classics and pave the way for the big fancy rides that we've got today might be gone before you get to them, and then you're going to be stuck with something that might not be as good. So I'm really keen to do the arrows like you're keen to do Rev. And I think we will make it happen. So, yeah. It's a question for me.
Oh, yeah. Question for Scott by Mark Robinson. Okay, I'll reword this. Do you think the new Blackpool Central development will affect Pleasure Beach, and if so, how?
Yes and no. I think if it actually happens, then it's good for Blackpool because it brings people in. But I think it'll affect Pleasure Beach if Pleasure Beach don't adapt, because I think its opening hours will be very sort of amusement parkish. I think they'll open early and I think they'll stay open late. But I think if, let's say, this new place opens at 10 o'clock and closes at 10 o'clock, I think Pleasure Beach have got to do the same.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I've got a horrible feeling that people will either pick one or the other. They won't do both. And I think a lot of day trippers who are going to Blackpool now won't just go to Pleasure Beach for 2 or 3 hours. I'm in the boat that I think the free entry being abolished at Pleasure Beach was the correct thing. I know that's not a popular opinion, but I said this before I was a dad, that I think it's safer for children at Pleasure Beach to have an entry system, to have gates, and we live in a world where terrorists are unidentified until they do something. So you've got to have security, you've got to have an entry system where you know who's in your park. It's alright with somewhere like Skegness at Fantasy Island, Ingold Mells. It's a tiny place.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little park. Pleasure Beach is a small park, but it's still quite big.
And very compact.
Yeah.
And
If
you can easily lose someone in that park.
Quite easily. I mean, for example, how often when we're there at the weekend does someone go, I'm at the big one, so you walk over to the big one and they go, oh, we've gone to the Grand National, you go.
Yeah.
So then you have to trudge back to the other end of the park, and by the time you get there, they've moved again.
Yeah.
So it's, you see, if you've not got that communication with a child or a family member or someone else, you could quite easily lose someone in the Pleasure Beach. And in that time, in a place that's free entry, that person could be gone. They could have gone out of boundaries by accident. So, back onto the point, I think Pleasure Beach have to adapt to whatever this new thing does, because this new thing will probably be the driving force in getting people to Blackpool if it's marketed correctly and if it actually happens. But if it does happen, it's good and bad for Pleasure Beach, in my opinion. But, well, I'm not convinced it's going to happen. I was at first, but having spoken to a couple of friends in the industry, I'm not convinced it's actually going to happen. But let's see. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. So, next question. Question for both by Tracy Stringer. Who was the first coaster nerd, and was the other one dragged into it?
No.
No.
Considering we met on
an enthusiast meetup.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have met if we weren't both coaster nerds.
I mean, it's taken you a little while to catch up. You have gone past my coaster count.
Oh yeah, I was well behind you at one point.
I've also been doing the big one a few years longer than you have. Yes.
As I said earlier in the video, I was a wimp, and it took me 10 years to go on the big one at Pleasure Beach. I had to build up to it. But once I did, as soon as I did the Grand National that first 2 times, I was just like, yeah, this is good. Because I'd been playing on Roller Coaster Tycoon the Pleasure Beach scenario over and over and over again, because I loved the Pleasure Beach. I loved going as a kid. I just loved the atmosphere of the place, but I didn't do the rides as much. I just used to do the log flume and stuff in Beaver Creek more than anything. The monorail and the PB Express. But it's just like now it's just gone off the scale, just full on enthusiast. But if it hadn't been for the Grand National, if it hadn't been for Roller, and if it hadn't been for that night ride on the big one in 2004, then I wouldn't have been an enthusiast. It just wouldn't have happened. So without the coaster enthusiasm, there's no way we'd have met.
No.
Given that Becca's from Edinburgh and I'm from Crewe.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have happened. We'd have probably seen each other, but we would have never spoke.
No.
That's the thing. I mean, we actually technically met before we spoke, didn't we? Because you saw me working at Alton Towers. But I was ranting at a guest for standing up in the boat, so yeah. We got there in the end.
Yeah. So, a question for both of us by Scott Davies. As a big Orlando fan, what's your favourite park in Orlando?
Don't say Busch Gardens, for God's sake.
No.
Got crucified for that.
Islands of Adventure. It's got to be the Hulk.
The Hulk, yeah.
And Dudley Do-Rights.
Yeah, definitely.
That is just an amazing log flume. But yeah, Islands of Adventure is a brilliant park.
I'd say so. I'd agree with that. Overall, if we're talking Florida overall, then I know that you'd be struggling between Universal and Busch Gardens. But in terms of Orlando, I really liked SeaWorld, but they don't have enough. But I really liked Mako. Wish I could have gotten Kraken, to be honest, but VR ruined that for me because it wasn't open. I'd have to say Universal Islands of Adventure, and even though that's another video where we did get quite criticised because we were too quick to talk about the stuff we didn't like and missed out a lot of our positives. It was probably the best park on that trip, definitely. But SeaWorld's really close behind. I just really like the atmosphere there. And I know there's all the politics about whether it's right or wrong what they do there. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in roller coasters, and for me the roller coasters were good. So that's what I liked about it. And that's where Journey to Atlantis is, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, and we did that like 6 rides in a row. I told you I like Mac water coasters.
Yeah. So, a question for both by Amy Lloyd. What's your most anticipated credit for 2019?
King Dakar. Six Flags Great Adventure.
There's only one I can think of that I'll do next year, and that's at Leesburg.
Valkyria.
Yeah. I've no plans yet for any other new ones.
We need to look at that soon, but we've got to get Christmas out of the way first.
Yeah.
First Christmas as parents has halted our plans quite a bit, hasn't it? But that's what January's for.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some plans in place. We've got Leesburg planned. But yeah, Valkyria was one that I thought of when I was writing the questions out there. When I was going through socials and that, I saw that question, Valkyria came to mind, but then I remembered Six Flags is happening, so it's King Dakar for me. But I don't think it'll beat Top Thrill Dragster because I don't like the fact it's got over the head restraints, but I think that's the next question. It is. Question for both by Ferguson 2002. Are there any restraints that you find really uncomfortable?
There are a few. As we all know, Gerstoller restraints aren't fantastic.
Shoulders.
Yeah, and there's a number. I mean, it's difficult to say whether it's just the restraints or the train themselves, because, for example, Woody's having seat dividers is worse than any restraint could be.
Yes.
Having those seat dividers is a right pain. We're not all that skinny. Come on. It just, there's no need for them. It's just not.
RMC want restraints for me.
Anything that holds your legs, that's horrible. So flying coasters are a bit uncomfortable.
I mean, I don't mind the restraints on like the mat coasters. For example, Icon, Helix, Blue Fire, no issues with the restraints. Lost Gravity as well. Even though your thighs get quite battered in places if there's hang time or air time, no issues with that. Same with Taron, no issues. I don't like over the head restraints particularly, especially on stuff like Stealth and King Dakar. I just don't think it's necessary. Like Rita, I've not done King Dakar, but I already know it's going to hurt because Stealth hurts when you hit the brake run. The air time just smacks straight on your shoulders. Don't need to have that kind of restraint on that kind of ride. If you can have a lap bar on Top Thrill Dragster, why can't you have one on King Dakar? Why can't you have one on Stealth? Why can't you have one on Rita? It just doesn't make any sense. So there's that for me is a bit of a nuisance, but the worst one for me is definitely Steel Vengeance lap bars. They absolutely killed the ride for me. I reckon if that had better restraints on your thighs, I'd be saying that's the best ride in the world. But because it absolutely battered my thighs, I only did it once. I just couldn't tolerate doing it again. It just hurt my thighs so much. I mean, I'm not the skinniest lad, but I'm not that overweight, and for me it was like full on crush on my thighs. So nah, they need to sort that out. The more RMCs that get built, they really need to sort that out. That's one of the really big reasons I don't want one at Pleasure Beach, because it's just a thigh crusher. So anyway.
I've thought of another one that's really horrible. Those horrible ones that close in on you. They're not rigid.
Like Olympia Looping.
Horrible.
Just set on your shoulders.
Soft. Well, they're not soft, but they flex over you. That is horrible. It might not be so bad for guys, but
What, the chest ones?
yeah, the ones that go over and They're like the flying coasters. Where
yeah, so like on the Swarm, for an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
horrible.
yeah, they're not very good on dive machines. That's one. I don't like the vest restraint on dive machines. No. Why did B&M change that? Does anyone know? Because the restraints on Oblivion and Baron work fine. I don't know why they needed to change it.
They just don't like us girls.
Well, I haven't got boobs. It's not much comfort for me either.
Yeah, but it's even worse for us.
Yeah. Anyway, question for Becca by Joshua Falls. Are you ever coming back to Scotland to explore?
Now, I visit Scotland once a month, and I would get up there more if I could. So, yes, I do regularly come back to Scotland. Explore, that's an interesting way to put it. I have been all over Scotland.
Yeah. It's me that needs to do the exploring in Scotland. There's so much I've not seen.
Yeah.
Still not seen the Loch Ness Monster.
Really? Really?
I've still not been up that way. I've not been that north yet.
No, that's true. We'll have to go up.
Loch Lomond, need to go there.
It's very nice there.
Need to go M&D's.
Oh God.
Do we need to go there?
I think you need to experience it. I think that's something every enthusiast should have to suffer, is going to M&D's.
Would you, the viewers, like to see us do an M&D's vlog next year? Because we will do one. We will. We're going to do...
Up there all the time anyway.
Exactly.
So.
We're going to do a Kirkcaldy vlog, I think, from the Lakes Market. We're going to do that next year. We've not been there since 2015.
We'll also have something in the next week,
yes,
maybe?
Very soon.
Yes, very soon from Scotland. You'll just have to keep watching to find out what it is.
Yes, we're currently working on that vlog, so it will be on the channel soon. Looking forward to sharing that one with you. So keep an eye out for that one. We're going to have a couple of things from Scotland in the next couple of days and week or so.
Yep.
It just depends how quick we can get them edited and uploaded and stuff. We have got a lot on the channel at the minute. Been working on a project which I started filming at the start of November, which I should have got on a long time ago, but we've simply not had time to do it, which is coming very soon after this video featuring Icon and Wickerman. I'm not going to give too much away, but the likes of Backseat Blackout, Springy Tales, Coaster Battle featuring that as well, and some familiar PvE faces including us two, Mike, Mullet and plenty of others. So that one's coming very, very soon. Got some stuff from Pleasure Beach to put on. We've got the more fact files. As promised, on Boxing Day there will be free Pleasure Beach fact files. There'll also be one before Christmas. I think if this goes on when I'm planning, in 2 days time there'll be another Pleasure Beach fact file featuring a very popular Blackpool Pleasure Beach connected manufacturer. So I'm sure you'll know which one I'm on about. But yeah, that's coming soon. There is loads to come on this channel, so please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the little bell, then you'll get notified when we are uploading. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. Not sure if... yeah, you'll definitely be in a video before Christmas, so
yeah,
we won't do the Christmas wishes yet, but we're going to do a video on Christmas wishing you all Merry Christmas and pass on some of our favourite memories of the year again without reviewing the whole year again. So yeah, lots to come on the channel, and that is exactly what I'm going to go and do now, edit more videos, because I don't sleep anymore. Becca doesn't sleep because Charlie doesn't let her. I don't sleep because I've got PvE stuff to do. That explains the bags under the eyes.
Yeah.
And the Vekoma hat is because I couldn't be bothered to sort my hair out. It needs trimming. It's all part of the going bald process. It's just dreadful. Anyway, thanks for watching this Pleasure Beach experience video. Do you have anything else to say before we finish?
Yeah, thanks for all the questions. Some interesting questions there.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, keep taking part.
Yeah, definitely. If you'd like us to do more of these, let us know. If you'd like Mike to do a Q&A again with me or Becca, Mike and Becca could be an interesting one. In a couple of weeks' time, Mike and Mullet are both coming to our house, so we could do a 4-way Q&A, but we'll need a...
We don't have a big enough couch.
We do. We do.
Nah.
We'll sit on the floor. Well, wait, Mike and Mullet can sit on the floor. Then we could keep tapping Mike on the head.
Well, yeah, okay then.
Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next Pleasure Beach Experience video.